Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Can you guys hear me okay? Thank you. So, I actually had a really good topic that a guy suggested for women and their kids that say they put their kids first, and when approximately does that change where the man becomes first. And then I actually wanted to bring this up because I had someone inquire about something that kind of almost piggybacked off of that topic. So I figured that it was a good one. Thank you. I trust everybody slept well. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. If you guys tuned in with me at all over the weekend, you guys know I had a long weekend. So, with that being said, looks like we kind of light this morning. Did anybody get a notification that my live was on? Just right quick. Not everybody speak at once. Okay, great. You got a notification. Cool. Okay, so going into that, so fellas and ladies, so there's one common mistake that a lot of us ladies do in regard to our children. We don't get me wrong, your child does come first. I totally get that, and I can appreciate that. And that is fantastic, right? Okay. That is fantastic. So, with that being said, there does come a time, ladies, and ladies that have sons, stop making them your boyfriend, okay? Make sure you draw it's not even a thin line, a very noticeable line for your young boys that are in your house. Granted, we play with the idea of them being the man of the house, but at the end of the day, they are not. They are children. They need to remain children. Stop making them your boyfriends, okay? That's not cool. And I will give you a personal experience that, you can equate to what I just said, and why it's so important to distinguish between the two. So, first, for the gentleman that asked, when is that line separated where the woman doesn't say that the kids come first any longer? So, in my opinion, when it's that time, the man is normally in the house, right? He is there all the time. The children are, they know him. They've established that relationship. He's contributing to the house. I mean, you're in a relationship. When the kids are, when you want to transition from the kids being the number one priority, you have to be the man in the house. You guys have to be in a relationship at the very least. You should be, I would say, living together, if that is the type of relationship that you have, on the verge of being the husband, right? Because that's when you become the priority. It's not when you're the boyfriend. You're just the boyfriend at that time. The man becomes the man and the priority when he is displaying that he's the man and the head of the household. So prime example, in my household, when I did have a man, people were like, oh, you fix the kids' plates first. No, I fix my man's plate first. Then I proceed to fix my son's plate and any other child that may be around at that point. The man also sits at the head of my table. It is what it is. I also do not serve him on a paper plate like I would serve the children on a paper plate. So there's a lot of different dynamics that lead into that. However, a lot of men have it confused that that's how things are supposed to be. But if you're not the man of the house and you're not contributing as the man of the house, you cannot expect to get that type of treatment. And I actually had to have a conversation with my own son because there was a situation once where I cooked something. The guy I was dealing with at the time, he wanted something else to eat, right? And so what I cooked, my son actually favors too. And so my son was like, well, Mom, why didn't you cook this for me? I said, well, because I already had this cooked. This particular meal was already cooked. And she's like, but you made something different for him. And I said, you two have different roles in my house. And he said, well, my son led up with, and this is from, him talking to his dad and stuff like that. So I get it. He's like, well, I'm the man of the house too. I said, no, you're not. You're a child in this house. I said, you do not contribute what he contributes in this house. You are not my companion. You are my child, and I treat you as that. So with that being said, don't question me about why I do things different for this man. You are a young boy. Now, I said, once you grow up and you get a wife and a woman and y'all got children and stuff like that, I said, you'll understand what I meant when I say, this is different. But in this household, you're a child and you don't contribute in this household. So with that being said, be a kid. No, there's not. It's not friction dealing with a woman that has a child, because I have a child. My son respects. Thank you for that compliment. It's not friction dealing with women and children. You just have to know how to deal with them, and you have to understand the expectation that you're setting, right? So if you can't expect a woman to put her child off for a man that, or a boyfriend or somebody that's around part-time. All right, cool. Y'all laying up, y'all sleeping together, y'all sexing, but you only in here 3 days out of the week. You're not consistent. And these kids, yeah, they see you every couple days, but you're not consistently around, right? You're not involved in their lives like you're involved in their mother's bed. So it's a difference. You can't expect a woman to put her children to a side for a man who's not equally involved with her children. If you're not supporting sports, I'm not saying you got to go to all of the games, and I'm not saying you have to take on the role as a father, but a male figure, yes, you should. If that's what you want, if that's what you expect the woman to do, if you expect the woman to prioritize you over her children, you have to take the role of being a male figure, not a father figure, a male figure in their life. And I'm not saying, like, again, it doesn't have to be an extreme figure, but supportive. If they play basketball, football, the little girls cheerlead. Bro, if you can, work doesn't, don't take away from work, the necessities that you need of life, but show your support, I disagree. I mean, a lot of you say, he has to be a husband. I disagree with that, because I've never been married, but I have had a man around. And just because we weren't married did not mean that I just wasn't supposed to treat him like a man, because he treated me like a woman and he ran things as a man is supposed to in the house. So I don't feel like the obligation of marriage should be the defining factor on whether or not he becomes a priority. It's all in action. If he's stepping up to the plate, acting, and like I said, acting, contributing, being supportive, all of that great things like a man is supposed to be, then there comes that time where it's like, okay, and I'm not saying ladies dump it all on him. I'm not saying dump the whole wife role on him, because if he gets the whole wife role, you're right, it's no need for him to actually, play the, actually do the whole marriage thing. But things are supposed to change. You're not, it's supposed to change if that is what you're leading towards. No, so my son's father isn't in the picture. My son's father is just, we co-parent. We've never had that issue. It's, of course, again, this is why I said you don't have to be a father. My son got a father. But you are an additional male role. So it's good to see everything flow accordingly, because just like as a woman, men expect women. Y'all got kids, 3-4 different baby mamas, but you would expect me to embrace all those children just like I would embrace my own. And I would, because as a woman, that's what we're supposed to do. And I come with, all right, I got one son, one child's father. Here I am dealing with somebody that 3 or 4 baby mamas. 3 of the 4 still in love with his ass. So, it's like, it has to be an understanding of things, and communication is where that's going to be very important. But the expectation for it, again, I didn't go to school for this. This is my personal experience, guys. This is a educated guess. You can take it or leave it. You have the right to disagree. Hey T, you have the right to disagree or agree, but this leads me into the second portion of this, right? So I had a guy hit me up like, T, I just want your perspective, right? I just want to know what you think about this. So he said, I was sitting down or whatever. I always try to be politically correct, but whatever, his dick was hard, right? So he's like, my girl looked at it, but I ended up still having to ask for head. He said, I felt like she should have known that, to go ahead and pop it off. Okay, but now, are you the common sense man, right? And this is what I mean by common sense. A woman, naturally, if she into her man, she's into pleasing him. If the situation is there and she's able to do it, then you see something hard, you make it back soft again, right? Common sense. However, are you the man that deserves that, right? Are you the man that deserves, all right, let me go ahead and knock this out, make sure he cool for the rest of the day. So when I first responded to him, I explained to him like, well, he said, well, I just feel like I shouldn't have had to ask. She should have already known. I get that. I said, but I cannot say whether or not she was right or wrong for that. I said, because I don't know what type of man you are. So he proceeds to say, well, we've been together for 20 years. I helped her take care of her kids. And there was a couple other things that went to it. But what I was trying to explain to him is, fellas, you don't get kudos for things that you're supposed to do, right? So 20, you done took 20 years of this woman's life, as well as she's taken 20 of yours. Okay, so I'm pretty sure there's ups and downs, there's spats. I don't know the whole depth of their relationship, but with that being said, I'm like, that doesn't necessarily make you a good man, because as adults, there's just certain things in life that we're supposed to do. If I'm dealing with a man that has children outside of us, it's my job to make sure these kids are straight. It's my job for him to trust me with his children. That's part of being in a relationship. That's part of dealing with someone. That's part of it. The kid comes with it. So he's like, so in his response, he like, no the fuck, like, because I told him, you don't get what it, just from me, and this is my personal opinion, you don't get kudos from me for doing what adults are supposed to do. And he's like, well, I didn't lay down and make them motherfucking kids. That wasn't my responsibility. Okay, but you've been laying up under this woman for the last 20 years, fucking on her. I'm pretty sure she cooking, cleaning, all that shit, or else your ass wouldn't be around for the last 20 years. So to a certain extent, you were obligated to help her for whatever. And I'm not saying from a financial standpoint. However y'all were doing this, however y'all were making things work, right? However, you contributed, that's what that's part of the role that we assume when we're dealing with people. So he, messaged me back like, nah, fuck that, blah, 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 blah. Cool. But I told him, shit, based on the answer and the short conversation you and I have had, I wouldn't have did the shit either. Because just based on that conversation alone that you and I just had, let me know that you're not the kind of guy that deserves head just because I see you dick. It's hard. I'm sorry. Just because it's hard doesn't mean that it's my job. Honestly, he struck me as a 50-50 kind of guy, and I would probably say, shit, she probably don't have the time to do it. She probably tired, because guess what? She got to take care of the fucking kids. You probably only picking up maybe 15% of the slack that's in the house. So me personally, I wouldn't did the shit either. Now, if I got a man that's in the house, hold on. So y'all fucking tell me, if y'all feel like that, everybody who said that shit, get the fuck off my live, because y'all immature and y'all need to grow the fuck up, and y'all gonna get stuck with some bum ass, worthless ass bitches because y'all have that mindset. And then y'all ain't never gonna get it. Y'all don't deserve a woman to fuck with y'all kids accordingly. Y'all sound dumb as hell. Y'all sound dumb as hell if you feel like you could sit up under a woman for X amount of years, anything past years, and fuck on her and don't feel like you should have to fuck with her kids. Y'all need to grow the fuck up, and y'all deserve bum ass bitches. Y'all deserve bitches that fucking would prioritize a fucking bum ass mindset of a man over her fucking kids. And I hope that shit happens to you and yours, because that's bullshit. That is flat the fuck out bullshit. Now, going back to what I was saying is, now, if I got it, again, this is not me saying I require a man to be my husband, because that's not true. I require a man to be a man. So if I have a man that's in my household and he is doing what I need him to do as a man, right? Whatever that may be, because women's wants and needs are different. It's different contingent on the household, the lifestyle, the size of the family. All of that shit is different. And also, like, I'm not, and I know a lot of people are probably thinking that I'm saying this from a financial standpoint. I'm not. You can fuck with a person's kids, and it doesn't have to be financial. A lot of y'all get that twisted. It does not have to be financial. So going back to, if I got a man in the house and he's, doing what he needs to do and all that, and I would have seen a hard one, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it without you having to ask. Because guess what? You acting like a man deserves that. Ladies, I hate to tell y'all, but if he doing what he's supposed to do, he shouldn't have to ask. Now, fellas, don't get beside yourself. I'm not saying that that's supposed to 3 times a day, every single day. But, yeah, it comes to a point in time where you shouldn't have to ask. Because if you're doing, and then if you don't know, right? So say you're in a position where you feel like you're not sexually fulfilled in your relationship. Fellas, this is my advice to you. But you feel like you're doing what you're supposed to do, but she's slacking. It's okay. I recommend you, baby, ask her, baby, are you good? Are you happy? If she says, yes, I am good, I'm happy. Do you love me? Yes, I love you. Do I do everything that you need me to do as a man? Right? That you have to ask that specific question. Do I do everything that you need me to do as a man? And she might be like, well, what do you mean? And just say anything. What do you expect from a man? And if she says yes, then you can be like, okay, babe, you say I do everything I'm supposed to do. Well, can we increase whatever? So if you feel like you ain't getting enough coochie, if you feel like you're not getting enough head, be like, I just feel, and you can tell her, let me say this too. Ladies, y'all gotta fucking stop thinking men don't have feelings. Y'all have to stop closing that door and making men feel like the only feelings that matter in a relationship is yours. Because that's not fucking true. Okay? It's not true. And theirs matter just as much. What are you doing? Okay, well, don't take all my stuff downstairs because I gotta still go through it. No, I do know women are I know they forget that, and they honestly lack in it because they act like they're the only ones that matter, and that's not true. So you definitely have to forget that. You have to let that go. And you're right, fellas. I'm not I'm not disagreeing with you. There are some women who are never satisfied. There are some. But if you see that, get away from it. Because honestly, you can't make nobody else happy. And this is for women and men. You cannot make nobody else happy if you're not happy. So it starts with you first. Because I've had to say that to myself. I said it to my homegirls. We can't take care of the kids and make the kids happy if we're not happy. And the last thing we want to see is our kids to see us, we miserable, we crying, we're in a bad state of mind all the time. So fellas, if you feel like, oh, she's just never satisfied, well, show her what it's going to feel like when you're not there. I bet you she'll appreciate you more. And some of y'all going to have to stand firm on it. And I know that shit's hard, but it is what it is. But again, ladies, stop thinking that a man's feelings doesn't matter or they don't have them, because they do. And then when you push his feelings off to the side, you wonder why he doesn't talk to you. Because you're not his fucking peace at home. He feel like he can't talk to you because you made him feel like his feelings did not matter. And they do. Listen, you guys, again, fellas, I'm not negating anything you're saying at all. I know because I've seen women do it. And when I was younger, honestly, I was guilty of it. You know, and it's not so much I was guilty of not listening, it's I was guilty of, me. You know, it's just, you know, my feelings are hurt. Well, maybe you hurt his too. And it took me to grow up. It took me to go through things. It took me to have an unsuccessful relationship, you know, to get to where I'm at. So I'm not telling you that shit gonna come. I'm not sitting here telling you that it's going to come like this. There we go, my snaps. It's not going to come like this. It's not going to come overnight. It takes growing. It takes self-awareness, right? So it takes it, because none of us are mind readers. Ladies too, stop that shit. Men are not mind readers, okay? They are fucking human just like us. So if you mad about something, you want something, stop expecting them to just know. They don't know. So you have to open your fucking mouth. You can open your mouth when you unhappy about something. You can open your mouth when you want something. Well, not when you want. When you can open your mouth when you're happy. You can open your mouth when you don't like. You can open your mouth when you want to, you know, nag and be in his ass about the bad shit. But stop expecting this man, even something as simple as you want your... Can I lay in your lap and get my hair rubbed, or a booty? Like, slapping ass and grabbing ass is imperative in a relationship. But if he ain't doing enough, say it. Say, I need more of this, or I need more from you. It's okay. Now, if you find yourself, and you might have to say it more than one time. Now, if it becomes, you know, repetitive and too much and he's still not doing it, then y'all might need to sit down and have an uncomfortable conversation. Nevertheless, unless there's some new shit going on, and if it is, tell me. I don't think people can read minds. You can read body language. You can read actions. Can't read nobody's mind. How the fuck was he supposed to know that? How the fuck was he supposed to know that you hate when he fucking smacks when he chews his gum? Fellas, if you hate when your girl pop her gum and... Oh God, because it fucking drives me crazy. I paid people to spit their fucking gum out. But it's simple stuff like that. If you have something that irritates you, aggravates you, or something that you need or want, we're human. Just like women are human, men are human too. Ladies, you have to open your fucking mouth and tell them. Now, your real problems come into play when there's no action after you say it, after you have the conversation, after you do all of that. That's when the uncomfortable conversations come in. But you have to put a starting point. Because if you don't put a starting point and you just expect him to know, it's fucking doomed on both sides. Because you got an attitude, he don't know why the fuck you got an attitude, so now he got an attitude because you got an attitude, now y'all not talking. Fellas, a word of advice, sometimes y'all do work y'all way into an attitude. I might not have an attitude, and I might tell you, okay, because women are human, right? We go through the burdens of life every day as well. Sometimes we just wake up and don't know what the fuck wrong with us. But if I'm not, you know, taking it out on you, okay, yeah, my energy might be a little different. But if I tell you, babe, I'm cool, I'm just having a day, leave it at that. Because you continuously, what you got an attitude for? Nigga, I don't got an attitude, but you doing this about to make me have one. So sometimes you gotta just let up, be cool, right? And you're right about that too. Women don't take accountability. I'm not against y'all on this one, and this is a woman telling you. A lot of women won't. A lot of women don't even know how to apologize, not knowing how far an apology can take them. Ladies, I know we hate it. We hate being wrong. Women hate, like, not being like, yeah, I got you. Why the fuck, why do you want to be in a relationship to say I got you? Why do you want to be in a relationship to have something to hang over a man's head? I don't want that. Like, for my ladies that's going through their man's phone, like, sis, but fellas, y'all gotta do this too. Like, if y'all not ready to be in a relationship or don't want to be committed, stop telling women that that's what y'all want. Because I'm telling you, today, now, if you give women the option, they will roll with it. You can be like, look, I got this one here, I got this one here, this what I got going on. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I ain't all that. Is you joining or not? If they're intrigued or have an interest in you at all, they gonna hop on deck. But instead, fellas, I have to tell you, that's a double-edged sword, because most men want to have 4 or 5 girls, but out of those 5 women, he don't want them to mess with nobody. And I get it, but that's why you have to have that open conversation. I've dealt with a man like that. I've dealt with a man, I knew he had 2 other situations going on. But because we openly and effectively communicated it, I was never tripping. Like, it was what it was. Now, he played that, you know, that role like he don't give a fuck. So now I was like, okay, cool. So, but when I'm dating, you got a problem with it. But what you were supposed to say is, look, because I'll tell, hey, when I'm dating. I love all my men equally. I love all y'all. I love y'all all the same. Okay, if all y'all gonna be in my space, I love all y'all the same. But instead of him communicating that with me, like, well, I really don't want you to kick with nobody else, I don't want that, blah blah blah, he chose to act like he didn't care, and maybe got his feelings hurt acting when you should have just communicated. Because either I was gonna play or I was not going to play. Right, you know, they want their cake. I know they want their cake, and you can't have none. But that is just where the fuck we at with things. I'm just trying to tell them how to be better at it. I mean, I'm not, yeah, it's games involved when there's not the right communication. So it's games involved. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, you know, I guess I would say in a perfect world, there wouldn't be any games. But you got to think, we in a game of life. This is just one part of the game. This is just one of the rules of the game, right? So we're in the game of life itself. So with, you know, yeah, so I mean, I get it. And again, there's going to be a lot of people on here that disagree. So communication is a key, but it's not the main key. Comprehension is. Because you can communicate all day long. You could tell somebody all day long these cabinets are natural great cabinets. But if they comprehend, they might say, well, this is Eicher Glade gray. You know, so comprehension. Now, communication is a factor, but comprehension is key. Because I might say the sky's blue. Well, it looks cloudy to me. Comprehension is the key. Hold on, let me... Thank you. Let me go through... You're right, Kingpin. You were right. And I think that they don't know. Like, when you keep things 100, when you put it all on the table, and then that helps with expectations, right? So when things were all out on the table, I knew what to expect. A lot of women get caught up with expectations that they set in their own head. oh, we talking because, you know, he didn't lay it out. So now I expect him to only talk to me. Well, since y'all not in a relationship, so unless y'all had that discussion that you guys were going to date exclusively, until you guys said, hey, we're in a relationship, it's me and you can't expect that. You know, the expectations are, but on both sides. Now, the expectations for men are different than what a woman's typical expectation is. But again, that comes with effective communication, effective comprehension. I have people confused on what method. Well, again, you're right. You're right. Again, fellas, today I'm not against y'all. I know some of the women might feel some type of way. They might say I'm a traitor today, but it is what it is. I'm siding with the fellas today. But even though I'm siding with y'all, I need y'all to understand that as much as I've said to the ladies, when y'all walking through, when you are, and I'll go to Kevin Samuels. There's a lot that Kevin Samuels says that I do not disagree with. I agree with a lot of what he says. But I've noticed that a lot of men are listening to him and they're not listening. They're not comprehending what he's saying. So I'll lead that by saying a lot of men walk through the door with the expectations of what a high value man is supposed to get. Remember that. And so some of y'all need to step it back. Step it back. Are you a high value man? Do you deserve exactly what you expect? Ladies too. Ladies, I hate to tell y'all, just because y'all a bad bitch. Alright, just cause y'all ain't gonna hold you up when you can throw something. You kind of get away with a little bit more shit than you normally do, and when your coochie is good. So I ain't gonna say that, but are you a valued woman? Can you hold your own? Like, you know, can you support him? Are you gonna support him whether he's up or down? Are you gonna help build whatever? Can you contribute to whatever he's got going on, in whatever aspect it is that he may need, not what you think it is. A lot of women get hung up thinking, oh, I do this, and this. Okay, well, this particular man doesn't need that. He needs XYZ, and you're saying I have ABC. Not the same. Yeah, you have ABC, so go find a man that needs ABC. Stop trying to grab the man that needs XYZ. Right? So men, just like women, they have different needs. So stop assuming that because what you got going on across the board is going to be enough. Because it's not. T, hold on. What's going on? I'm not. Now come on, Milana T. Y'all know that I'm not switching sides. But all right, so Mulan no, T, you just stay out this. But Mulan, if you want to go ahead and put it out there, I'm not. But the man that you fuck with, you gonna tell me now? These is conversation. How do you fuck with him? And the person that I have become to know, that I know that you are, I would say he's got himself a winner. Because you hustle and you do and this is just conversations that you and I had. You hustle, you do what's needed, and you're, I'll say, a free spirit. You're not afraid to please him. Now, I don't know the whole dynamics, but I would say y'all got a good situation, whatever that might be. I don't know if it's committed, but y'all shit is good. So am I wrong for saying what I'm saying? Because the person you deal with feel like they got peace at home, right? That's all I'm saying. is that it's not, I'm not being a traitor. I'm not. So y'all get off me. I'm just telling the men and the ladies that, you know, hold on. Y'all gotta pay attention. Like, ladies, stop feeling like your feelings are the only feelings that matter. Stop making men think that their feelings and their thoughts and their opinions don't matter and don't count, because they do. And as much as they don't want us to believe they have them, they do. Yes, men love. The only fucked up thing is that they normally get a dusty ass crazy motherfucker who fucks them up, and unlike women, where we'll try it again, you know, burn the stove, fuck, let me burn this hand, fuck, this one healed, I'll burn this one again. Most men will burn their hand and be like, nah, I'm straight. That's the difference. So, but if we can become healthier women in a thought, in a mindset, if we begin to change our mindsets and have healthier mindsets, then, maybe we'll stop, fucking over the good guys, and stop turning them into savages, and then they can stop turning us into savages, and let's break the cycle. That's all. I just want to break the cycle. I want everybody to get some and be happy, and I want everybody to get some good shit and be happy, and then let them motherfuckers that's some fucked up people, because on both sides, men and women, it's just some fucked up ones. They grew fucked up. The apples is bad apples on both sides, and them bitches was bad and sour before you pick them off the tree. But let's leave those. Let's leave the bad apples. We can throw them in the basket together. But all the good ones, because what's happening is, y'all know, it's contagious. When something goes bad, if it's touching one that's not bad, it'll go bad too. So all I am trying to do and say is, let's throw the bad apples over here, so this basket right here of all the good shit, we can all stay good and healthy, right? And then even if it doesn't work out, it doesn't have to be a negative. We just, all right, cool. This just really wasn't for us. No ill will. I learned a lot from you, and it was my pleasure. At the end of relationships, I would like to see more of, all right, cool, it didn't work. I love you. I loved you. We had a good time. It was my pleasure to experience you, instead of, oh, fuck that nigga and fuck that bitch, I hate her. And that bitch this, that bitch that, this nigga this, he wasn't shit, blah, 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 blah. No. It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure dealing with him. I learned a lot. I think it's a song by India Ari. I can't think of the name of it, but there's a song that she's singing. And in the song, I remember her, and it's not verbatim, but the thought that it left me with was, she was like, if he never spoke to me again, I wouldn't be mad, because it was her pleasure to deal with him at all. I'm trying to experience that. What? If you laugh and I'm not mad and I'm not bitter, but I'm glad that I got to experience you. Where can I find me one? Where can I find me one? Again, I get what you fellas are saying, but remember, what you want, you have to be the man that also deserves it. You want somebody to shut up and listen, be the man that deserves the shut up and listen woman. It is a give and take. Because I think I posted something like this a long time ago. There is a lot of lame ass men that, oh yeah, I'm that nigga, I'm this, I'm that, but there's a lame ass bitch right behind them saying, yeah baby, you that, and both of y'all fucking lame as hell. He poor, and when I say poor, I'm not talking about financial. Y'all know it's more of a mental, spiritual poor. You making poor decisions, all of that shit, poor habits, all that stuff. So when y'all both got a piss poor mentality, you know, motherfuckers like y'all is made for each other. But what happens, again, going back to this, is when because I ain't gonna lie, y'all know that representative be a bad motherfucker, and sometimes it takes you a little while to be able to see through it. I get it. I didn't had one get down on me, you know, and hey, you know, I took it like we all done fucked a lame. Whether a man fucked with a woman that was lame, or a woman fucked with a man that was lame. I'm not. Hey, it is what it is. I got one under my belt, but I paid for it with the knowledge that I got from it. Cause baby, when I say that shit'll never happen again, cause I give it to them. Especially those people that can keep up the representative for long periods of time. Those are the ones you need to be scared of, because they almost convince them fucking selves that they are who they're telling you they are, and they're not. And they can keep that charade up for years. For years. I know it. So yeah, and then sometimes it takes, you gotta let the smoke settle, you gotta let the lights go off, and you got the fireworks have stopped, and then when you look around, you're like, oh hell the fuck no. So the man, right, the man, not the homie. No, so the shut up and listen concept is what it's not quoted verbatim. This is just what I refer to it as. A lot of what Kevin Samuels preaches, you know, because ladies like to lead with their resume, and there are some men that just don't give a fuck about your resume, because guess what? They got it. They got it on every level that they wanted and needed. And sometimes a man just wants a female to shut the fuck up, listen, cook when I ask you to, rub these motherfucking feet when I ask you to. Matter of fact, I shouldn't have to ask to rub my feet. You know I had a long day or I had a lot going on at work throughout the week. Some shit you shouldn't just have to ask for. So that's what I mean when I say the shut up and listen, girl. But again, I have to be a man that's deserving of that. If you want me to shut my ass up and fucking listen, we got to talk about some things, because that means you doing a hell of a job in this household, and I'm gonna let you know that 50-50 shit does not equal a shut up and listen bitch. It is just as simple as that, because ain't no fucking way I got to pull that type of weight and still shut the fuck up and listen. Y'all got to understand that it's a give and take in that. But I will shut up and listen for the right, the right situation. Don't get me wrong, I'm not above it. I'm not above. You hungry? Okay, I'm not above breakfast, lunch, and dinner and a snack. I'm not above prepping the meals before the day before. I'm not above rubbing feet. I'm not above none of that shit. But the man has to be worth that. That's all I'm saying. You're right. Truth, strength, conditional cooperation. I couldn't have said that any better myself. Again, so acts of service, I'm talking about a shut up and listen all of the time. Now, acts of service, yeah, cool. Every now and then, that's an act of service, is every now and then. Just like every now and then, every time you see a homeless person or see somebody on the street, you don't give them money every chance you get, especially being in the city of Detroit. Every time you hit a light, by the time you get to wherever your fucking destination is, you ain't gonna have no more cash on you. So an act of service is doing that every so often. All right, cool. Maybe once a week or once a month. I'm not saying ladies don't do that shit at all, but I'm saying a man that requires that on a daily basis. And I say that because, like, example, when I was pregnant with my son, I was very sick. I was sick. I couldn't work. They put me on bed rest for a while, really until I had him. But, my son's father is the only man that I've ever lived with full time. And he worked, but I cooked every day. I made him breakfast, I made him lunch, and I made him dinner. And so whatever we would have for dinner that night, the next day I would send him the leftovers in his lunch for work. And my son's father, it would be times, again, mind you, I'm pregnant as hell, so it's not much I can do. But if he'd go out, he'd come in. It's been times where he had came in 3-4 in the morning, drunk. You know, I shared some funny and good experiences with him. You know, drunk. I'm so hungry, whatever. Even though I was pregnant, you know, whatever, I got up out the bed and made that man something to eat. Because he was taking care of I didn't need nothing. I didn't need to do nothing but sit my fat ass up and make sure we had food in the house. And that he was fed and that I did the laundry, you know. And then when I got better and I was able to go back to work, then, you know, things changed. I was able to, you know, go back to being in that. But, you know, at that time, boom, I'm still a mother. So mind you, we didn't make it because of life. I'm not mad at him. He's still one of my greatest friends. We co-parent very well. We have a wonderful child together. But while we were together, and this was just because I needed my son to understand that this is how life works. Even after, in which I still was sick after I had my son, because again, I had cancer and didn't know it, but I still was trying. I still cooked almost every day, you know. I was full-time student in college. I worked. I still contributed, but my main focus was to have a family, right? So holidays, you know, we're cooking breakfast, you know, and we're inviting family over. So that's a big thing for me when I'm dealing with somebody to that capacity and that level. I still believe you still have to be a woman. There's still things that women are just supposed to do, you know. Like I think one time I heard a girl say, and it made me so mad, because she was like, this motherfucker came in the house talking about I'm hungry, and I said, well, get the fuck up and make your ass some noodles. The fuck I look like. And I remember thinking to myself, bitch, that's why you'll never get a good man. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, there are some men that boy, go fuck yourself. But if you feel like that about the man you're dealing with, sis, let it go. Let it go. Let that motherfucker go jump in this bad apple box and go find someone that's going to appreciate it. No, I didn't want to take over. I am very good at letting a man be a man and letting him lead the way. Things changed because I was sick. Dynamics of life change when you're faced with real life shit. When you're dealing with somebody who's going through a terminal illness, and I'm not even going to get into it. No, it's not because I wanted to take a lead. It's just because we got hit with life. And it is as simple as that, and I'm going to leave that at that. Yes, some. Right, T, now you know how mad you'll be at a motherfucker, and you'll still be like, you sitting there talking shit. This motherfucker got me fucked up thinking I'm supposed to. You mad as fuck, but you know, as a woman, he got me fucked up, but I'm about to feed your stupid ass, but you got me fucked up. You know, it's okay to have that mindset too, ladies. But as a woman, as a somewhat decent woman, as a good woman, there are just some things that women are supposed to do that men don't. And you know, and fellas, you gotta understand that's a give and take both ways. There's some things that the men should just have to do, you know, not, and they don't. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of them slip on it, but a word of advice, right? And this is just something that I personally feel some type of way. If I have a man in my life full time, he's full time in my life, and I don't like to be subjected to other men's presence, right? So I don't feel like, all right, if I got a man around, I shouldn't have to do business with other men, whether it be the lawn people. If I got a man cutting my lawn, then I feel like the man should be around and be present so that these men that know that there's a male presence around. But a lot of men don't do that, and a lot of men don't pay attention to it, and then they wonder how the fuck they girl ended up dating, I don't know, her gym instructor, or what, some weird ass, it's not weird, but you know, those one-off situations where you be like, how the fuck did that happen? Because there was no male presence around. You allowed your lady to be subjected to other men, and because of her dealing so much and you're not around, she wandered off. Can't be mad. You can't be mad, but if you buckle down on shit, like, okay, you know, because there's been times where he don't gotta be around. Oh, can I? No, I'm good. Oh, well, can I? Why? I'm happy. You can't argue with I'm happy. You can't. Okay, guys, so no, I'm not saying if I'm paying half, he doesn't get the respect. That's not what I said. But just like you feel like you only have to go to work for 40 hours a week, a woman's job is never ending, especially when there's children in the house. So if she got to work 40 hours to help pay 50% of these bills, you probably only gonna get 3 meals a week, because she got to cook, she got to take care of kids. The job don't stop until we fall asleep. Be understanding when you say that. Okay, nevertheless, y'all, they about to cut me off. It was great speaking with you guys. Please follow me on all of my other platforms. We have Twitter, we have TikTok. If you're looking for something a little bit more provocative, we got OnlyFans. It is $10 right now. Pay attention to the inbox. YouTube, my talks with Taylor will be transitioning to YouTube as soon as I can get them to approve my account. And I deleted my personal Snapchat, but I do have my backup Snapchat. All of those links can be found in my bio. If you have any topics that you would like to discuss or any questions that you would like to ask, my DMs are always open. I do respond to genuine inquiries, okay? No, I didn't say she was going to cheat if you don't keep tabs. Stop being childish. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Happy Tuesday, Tuesday motivation. See y'all later. Oh, shit.